welcome everyone. Waleed, Adore, Jason, and do invite other people. Help share the room on Clubhouse. Invite other people. This is going to be a game changer. Like when I teach, Mr. Bosede knows it's different. It's advanced skills and insights and strategy. So today is one of them. Sales is energy, frequency, and urgency. So the first thing, let's dive into it. And please do share the room as well. The first part of this sales is energy. There are many aspects of sales that has to do with energy. Okay. And let me just keep it simple. I want to try and keep it simple today. If you're not used to my training at my school, toyinumesiri.academy, then you're going, what she's saying, right? So let's start with emotion. There are different types of energy. There's energy of thoughts, there's energy of emotion, there's also physical energy. Like if you punch somebody, right, you are distributing energy, right? If you also think about power, the definition of power, the definition of energy, flow of energy. Okay, I'm not going to go too deeply, but let's stay at just pure form energy. So there's energy of thoughts, right? There's energy of emotion. Emotion is actually, right, energy in motion. If you look at the definition of emotion, right, the emotion you embody, the thoughts that is in your mind influences whether you sell or not. Okay. Also, the emotion of your prospects, the people you're trying to communicate with, their own emotion and their own thoughts and their own being will determine if they're going to buy. Okay. Make sense? Let me stop there. Mr. Bossede, it makes sense? Okay, Bernard,
Yes,
go on.
yes, yeah, yes.
Does it make
It does. It does.
it does make
It does
sense?
because because for me, that's been my main area of competence. Though I didn't even do marketing, I'm an accounting person. You know, for people to believe you, the energy you bring to the table is even key.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot be say, oh, that I'm trying to sell this pen, and you know how this pen can write, and just so when you come to most of the interview we convert, we just give you something to sell to us. And I
Mm.
remember one of my first interview at the bank. When they went there, the guy gave me his shoe, and I walk out of the interview with the shoe. And he said, "Hey, my friend, don't take my shoe away." And I'm saying, "Okay, now I've created the need. Now you want
Mm.
your shoe, so now let's bargain. Give me 1,000 cities."
Mm. Mm.
So just the reaction, you need to create something that will really make it. But always on a time, people won't buy from you just because of the energy you carry.
Mm. Mm. You
Yes,
said something.
not just
Go
only
on.
your energy, but the person's energy. Because, for instance, you've come to me as a prospect, and you come and my let's say, God forbid, somebody is bereaved.
Mm. Nobody's buying
My
them.
energy, nobody is buying that day. So
Mm-hmm.
close the sale and move on. So look at the mood, the energy in the room. Sometimes you don't need to say anything. Or instead of saying something, just go away and send flowers or send a
Mm-hmm.
condolence card.
Mm-hmm.
That one, you have done the sale because you have met the energy in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that
Mm-hmm.
was what I understand.
I,
Yeah.
lo- I, lo- I love that because many times people only feel like their products and services will sell just because it's the best thing in the world. That's why you will see many people online would say, buy this, buy now, buy this, buy now. My product does this, my services does this, and they're all touting and talking about, how amazing their products and services are. Not realizing that the products will sell when the energy is right. Right. And when I also use the word energy, I'm using two things: energy of thoughts, energy of emotion. Right. The reason is because you can be seriously excited, you can have a high energy, okay? But we are also reading the information in that energy, right? Because thoughts is what we are translating. You're translating thoughts, right, and emotion at the same time. People can have the right emotion, but if the information they are translating to you is not right, but if you are not telling me what I want to hear, no matter how high you are, I'm not buying. Okay, you can, if the information is not helpful, what energy does is it drives impact, right? So information plus energy equal to high impact. High energy, high impact. Now, you can be impacting people negatively or not with enough information. You can be delivering, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and you're making people feel good. But if the information you're delivering does not have value, right? If the information that is being delivered is not perceived as valuable, you will see people go, I like this guy, but what he's selling, I'm not interested. Okay. So the thoughts, the information you have, plus the energy will help people pay attention and listen to you. And then, but before I go next, does anybody want, Abusede, go on.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning. Abosede here. Yeah, I'm still trying to like digest. I'm still trying to try to digest the first line you said.
Mm,
But based on what Bernard said, I'm just trying to relate it to like what is happening with me. Like
mm-hmm,
said, the energy is not only from you, but from the people, from the client itself. Like,
mm-hmm,
what is the energy? Like I discussed with you the other time, the energy I get from the guest. I'm a designer. You understand? So I'm into African traditional outfits, custom wear. You understand? So the
mm-hmm,
energy I get from people that want to just go and just sit down like a guest is different from the celebrants, and it's actually different. Even the celebrants, the energy I get from event planners is higher than
mm-hmm,
even the ones I get from some celebrants, because some celebrants are not really, they don't know what they want. You
mm-hmm,
understand? Yeah. But this person, the event planner, they know that they were being looked up to. They have
mm-hmm,
expectation. They don't want to fall. So the way they talk to you, they are serious people. In fact, you will have to meet them at a particular pace. Some will require contract. You understand? Some
mm-hmm,
require for you to have like a package. You
mm-hmm.
understand? Like you should have a package or this. I don't know if you want me to like break it down. Like for
No, this
example,
is
we want
good.
to do, yeah, like for
Mm-hmm,
example, you want to do like a total bridal package. For example, like the traditional wear, which is the agbada, the gele, ashoke, like total package of the bride traditional outfits and the groom
mm-hmm,
traditional outfit. They expect you to have like a total combo. You understand,
mm-hmm.
and have some discounts. I'm not used to that. I'm used to
Yes.
like selling one on one, doing this. They're used to saying, okay, go prepare a
Mm.
contract for me if you want to, produce ashoke of like 100 or 50 for the guest, head wraps, whatever. You should be able to give me at the price, at the discount, what comes with it. You should be able to, you know, prepare a contract and all that. I was like, really? So like
Yeah.
the,
So,
the, the vibe I get from
Abisode, there's a solution in what you said.
mm,
Maybe pricing, Tonye can do justice to that, maybe some other thing for pricing. But for the customer
yes.
not knowing what he wants is an energy.
mm-hmm.
Mm,
It's an energy. In fact, one thing that I was just
Yes.
taking notes. I was taking notes when Mr. Posede was talking. So the energy you're talking about between the bride and the,
event
bridesmaid
planner.
is
Yeah.
and what I'll call energy of desire.
Mm.
Remember, I always say passion sells, desire buys.
Advice.
So,
Yes.
so desire is not equal among people. The energy of need is not. So, for example, let's say there's a dentist, right? And the person that has a toothache, the intensity of the toothache will influence the intensity of I really remember. So remember on the topic, I said urgency. You see,
Mm.
sales is
Yeah.
energy, frequency, and urgency. The urgency, right, is also dependent on the, and it will influence the level of desire. If somebody has a wedding, to your point, next week, the urgency is different from if it's next year.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody
Mm-hmm.
has toothache, depending on how intense the pain is, the urgency with which they will pursue a solution is also dependent on them,
Yeah, definitely. Like, can I
right?
really come in on that? Yeah.
Sure,
Like I
sure.
said the other time, that the guest has they has a cap when it comes to pricing. Oh, I cannot come and kill myself. I can't go beyond $200. Someone will say, no, I can't do more than 150. But the bride is ready to say, you know what, give me what is good. Celebrants are
Hmm.
like, oh, give me what is good. You understand? And the event planners are coming and say, you know what? Give me this, give me this. This is our budget. You understand? So
Hmm.
it's the talking with the event planners, like it takes me like, you need to know your color chart, you need to know this, and they'll give you what time can you get this done, and it's in bulk. We speak volume. This has to be ready at this space. The way they talk, and I was like, okay. And then
Yeah,
that now
yeah,
makes me thinking, I really need capable hands, because now volume, then time is reduced. No, I need to up my game as to people get in as to help me. I need to get
hmm,
more suppliers, because it's in volume too. You reduce your price. Sometimes they try to tell you the higher the volume, because they too they have probably numbers of several suppliers, right? So they'll tell you the higher the
absolutely.
volume, instantly they add the value, they add the price. Then you start thinking, okay, let me get suppliers that can bring down their prices, so I can have enough gain. And you start thinking like, really, this is another chain, another
So
game entirely.
let,
You know.
let me let me bring some things, let me give some perspective to some of the things you're saying. And welcome Asana for being here. Again, feel free to invite more people. I know here in the US people are just waking up. Um so there's something about matching energy, right? So whether the salesperson brings an energy, so if the salesperson brings in a high energy, there's an opportunity to raise, for you to raise the vibration of the people you are talking to. Okay. The opposite is also true if you want to sell, because sales is where you match energy. If your prospects come in with higher energy, higher demand than you have got to match them before you can sell to them. This is why people walk away. So let's say I'm a prospect, I come to you with excitement, high energy, and you don't match me. You're not for me, right? If I come in with, I'm looking for the best in class, I'm looking for the best solution, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, and then I meet you and I am not seeing the same energy or higher in you, then they walk away. It's like going into a store. You have high expectation, and when you walk into that store, they're trying to serve you something that you're not interested in. Or you go into a restaurant, and let's say the restaurant, you thought it was classy, or right, and you walk in, and then their customer service is shabby, not to your standard, not to your expectation. They are not matching your energy, and because they are not matching your energy and expectation, you will walk away, right? So the salesperson must have equal or greater energy than the prospect. You can't have less, because this is also tied to the perception of your value, right? The energy you bring will influence how we perceive the value of whatever you're bringing to us. This is what also defines luxury sales versus commodities. If you notice, luxury sales is high vibration, very, very high vibration. And so customers match, right? So when you go into a Louis Vuitton store, you are going to match, you will see, you will experience the energy they've put around their product, their marketing, the hair in that space is at a certain level. And they are also in a subliminal way communicating that if a customer comes into that store with low vibration, there's no match. So you find out that when you walk into a luxury store, your own energy will shift to match it, because that's the only way you're going to be able to spend the money. That's the only way you would justify. the money you're about to drop in that room. Because if they are vibrating low, you will not you will not drop the level of money, right? So even energy matches how much we're willing to pay for products and services. So if somebody brings you low energy, a salesperson brings you low energy, and they've priced their product as high priced, it doesn't match. You'll be like, no, 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 no. The energy this person is bringing doesn't match their pricing, and you go, something is missing, there's no alignment. So everything is connected, right? So that's what I'm also trying to break down for everyone. So welcome, Jason, I see you, and welcome, CM Anderson, Asana as well on Clubhouse, and those joining also on LinkedIn. Thank you. On LinkedIn, raise your hand if you want to contribute. On Clubhouse, people are already like, we're already engaging. But if you're on LinkedIn and you want to ask a question, just raise your hand and I'll be happy to bring you on the stage to share what's on your mind. Go ahead, Jason.
Wow, this is amazing teaching. I haven't heard it put this way. Over 100 books since 2010. It's president of Penn's Power Club and all of these coaching programs. And I realize even the
I
coaching
think
program,
it's breaking.
oh,
Oh, I can hear Jason.
even the coaching program or whatever it is, or the school. Now I'm picking schools for my master's and there's a certain energy. So I like this teaching. This is very amazing. Thank you. I haven't really heard it put this way, but now I realize why I didn't match, because some rooms, even on Clubhouse, certain energy you just get abused. There's rooms they throw you off the stage, and I think I don't know if you haven't seen that at all, then you've been good, maybe you just stay in your own room. But if you go in certain rooms, the energy is abusive, and there's gender wars, and there's this and that. And this one guy, for instance, I said I was still waiting for marriage, and he said, how old are you? And then he was a minister, and he said, even though he was a said he was a minister, he threw me off the stage. He said that's outrageous. So certain people, it would even be dangerous. But in terms of the business, I remember I just met somebody the other day that grew up with me. He said he remembered me, and I was at the mall and I was with the guy that does my shirts for my company, and he was a customer and I was a customer. So I thought, okay. And then I did this poem about my father, because it was about I grew up, my dad had passed away, and because my energy was high with the poem, he said, oh, you have to chill, you need to take some. And then he said I should take drugs. He said that because he smoked weed, and so he said I have to relax and just smoke weed. So I said, look, I don't even want to match his energy. This is Jason, I'm done speaking.
Oh my. So let me also share this. Whether you're selling a tangible product or a service, you're always selling yourself when you're engaging with another human. I call it H to H. Everywhere you go, everywhere you go, you carry your energy around, right? And we feel you, we experience you as such. So even if you're not a business owner, even if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're just a regular person, and here's the beautiful thing, you will attract what you embody. You attract who you are, right? The reason is because you cannot match. You can if somebody is not a match for you, you cannot relate. When there is no resonance, right? You cannot relate. And this is also what causes friction in relationship. And I hope people realize that business is built on human relationships, how you can connect with another person and build trust enough that they are willing to buy from you, right? So the foundation of sales is people's ability to connect with other human beings, build trust, and then exchange value. That I'm just giving you guys like advanced stuff, simple way that you will forever be transformed with this information. And my school Tony Mercury Academy covers, right, advanced next level, right, training strategies for you to develop the skills, right? So even if you're not an entrepreneur, even if you're not a business owner, as a human, this lesson will help you. Even if you're looking for a job, if a job is applied, you go for an interview and you don't match the energy of your interviewer, they are not giving you that job. That's always they always talk about, oh, are you a culture fit? It's really saying, are you an energy fit? Will your energy disrupt our team or enhance it? So You may think they're only looking at your resume. No, they're assessing your energy, your aura, because you people can embody disruptive thinking, disruptive energy, and come in. And if they know if they hire the wrong energy, it will destroy and mess up their team. So energy is a big topic. And if you want to achieve success in life, you need to ask yourself this question. You need to have a clear, extremely clear understanding and answer this question. How do people feel around you? This is self-awareness, right? You need to answer that question. How do you make people feel? Do you leave people high, or do you pull them down, or do you leave them neutral? Do you leave the world unimpacted? This is where those who, because those three things are true. You can leave people high. I think I leave people high. There are people who leave people neutral. You are not memorable. Zero impact means nobody will remember you. And people leave people low. That's negative. So at a minimum, either leave people neutral, but if you want to achieve success, you actually have to leave people high. This is what creates memory. Emotion, we remember how we feel in the presence of others than what they said. We don't even remember what people say most of the time, but we remember how we felt. So you're going to remember how you feel if you go into a high end store, if you go to into a luxury hotel, if you experience, say, an event that is high energy. I usually host such events with ambassadors, right? This is why people come every year for my events, because the energy you're going to experience in my space and then my TV show, talk shows, right? If you come into that room, any of my networking, any of my classes, any of my coaching, that experience, when you walk away, that's what you remember. You may pick up maybe one or few top highlights from this engagement, but what sticks with you mostly is how people make you feel. So for everybody listening to me, you have to have the self awareness of the impact you're having on the people you engage with. And when I say impact, impact is energy
Yeah.
plus thoughts, right? Energy first plus thoughts, because energy, you can write something and not impact anybody. This is why people just scroll past, on social media. They read something, they just move on. But when the right words, the right frequency is there with the right power that carries the right energy, people will pay attention. This is what people pay attention to. So, are you aware of how you make people feel? Go ahead, Miss Abosede.
Yeah, sorry, I really want to come in quickly. You're talking
Go
about frequency, is it cultural fit or cultural fit right now? Then I just believe that all this has to, if for this to come in, you must have the right communication skill. You understand, with those people,
on.
like you're speaking their language, you're speaking their thought and all that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So what your program did for me that I'm really grateful for within this 1 year is clarity on my customer. You understand? I'm able to probably understand them better. You understand? So then one of the questions you asked recently about the product, and you're saying that, oh, what are you selling? Are you selling um pain, or you're selling to cure? I was like, okay,
Pleasure.
hold on.
Are you
Pleasure.
selling? Are you removing pain, or are
Pain or
you selling pleasure? Hmm.
pleasure. I was like, okay, hold on. How does this relate to my people? The first person, which is just a guest, is just a pleasure to her. The second is like a need. Okay, she's the
Hmm.
celebrant, she needs that. But this person I'm talking about, this is the event planner, is like a pain to them. You understand? So the way I try to communicate to them is different. I
Hmm.
communicate at different level. You understand? For talking to like event planner, I'll say, and you know what? I can bring to life the design that your client wants. You understand? With a budget that is not going to break the bank. You understand?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that, okay, can I see this? What do you have? And we start from there, because I know that she's looking for a way to bring down the cost, because most of them sometimes they try to manage the funds, you understand. And
Hmm.
also I
Budget.
can even tell her that, you know what, I can take off the stress of African attire or custom from you, because getting all those things here
Yeah,
is
it's
is a
stressful.
lot of work. It's stressful.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking burden from her. She can even say,
Pain,
okay, you know what?
exactly.
This is their number. Take. Go and deal with them. And she can even give you like three, four, five bites. Just go and deal with them. Then you will start, you take off the headache. So the way
Mm-hmm.
I communicate to her is like a headache for her. I'm taking off her own headache.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Whereas the
Right.
guest here, it's just like it's a pleasure. Kini, I don't. It's either,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
I can't come
So
and
this
kill
is
myself.
exactly. And by the
That's
way,
for them.
just for people listening, Miss Abosede is talking about my academy. And the reason I teach the way I teach is so that you can make more money, less stress, more money. Right. And so, Miss Abosede, are you making more money with these strategies?
Wow, I
Easily.
am. Yeah, yeah. Because now, I get to know I need both service. What I'm doing is more of service. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I am talking with the right set of people, I'm able to bring in products, you understand, that
Mm-hmm.
is made by some other people, even back from Nigeria, from Africa. You understand? They
Mm-hmm.
buy all those air wrap and all that in quantity. They make it, they ship it here, and so it's like now I'm having
Import,
both
export.
my
Yeah, this is.
yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
having both my products and my service running. I said the product I have to do nothing. I like absolutely nothing. And it's in volume, and you know what that
Yeah.
means, right? You're
And so
happy.
yes, I absolutely, you've
I'm able
restructured
to
your business.
face, yeah, I'm able to face some other part of my life. So then I don't base on just service, because that part of sewing custom made is stressful.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It's really stressful, and it's not really, not bringing
Right.
much income like that. So for me to have a product, so I see that I'm creating a product. I say, wow, this is interesting. You
Exactly.
understand?
So I love this because at the end of the day, superior insights in business, superior skills, you're able to structure your business to suit your needs, right? What we
Definitely.
want is more money, less stress.
Yeah,
As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you want to make more money and you want to remove stress for your life. That's what my school is about. But the only way you can achieve it is you actually have to increase your knowledge, improve your skills, access new strategies, develop new mindsets that will help you re-engineer your business in such a way that you make more money and you reduce stress for yourself. That's what my school is, and it's an intense advanced program, Academy. Because I see many people, right? In a way, let me even use the topic of the room. They are bringing not enough energy to power their business. We always talk about knowledge is power. Well, it's the right knowledge. The right knowledge will help you power your business. The wrong knowledge will confuse you. This is why many people go online. They are searching for the wrong knowledge. They are here, they're there. A year has gone by. They've not gotten the right knowledge that will help them unlock business growth, make more money, reduce stress. In fact, the wrong knowledge will confuse you, will compound, right? Stress, confusion. And I see it a lot, particularly on Clubhouse. People, a year, 2 years, they've gathered the wrong knowledge, and those knowledge is not helping them make money. And they're more confused now. So what Mr. Bossede is saying is that the right knowledge, when you understand, like the workbook you were referencing, how well do you know your customers? There are 12 workbooks in my school. One of them, how well do you know your customers? Listen, you will do deep research to be able to connect with them, understand their mindset, their thinking, their desires, because you have to match them where they are. When you don't match the people you want to sell to, when there is no alignment, they're not going to buy. We use our money to buy the things we value, the things we need, the things we desire. This is simple, guys. You, as a customer to somebody else, money is a utility, it's a form, right? We use money to buy the things we want for ourselves, the things we want to use, the things we want to own. The day you realize this concept, that nobody is buying just because you think your product is the best thing in the world. No, they have to agree with you. They have to match your energy. And you, as the salesperson, your energy must be equal or greater than the energy of those ready to buy. When your energy is less than theirs, they're not going to buy from you. Across levels, whether it's intro to advanced sales to luxury, is that when energy, in fact, luxury even requires the customer to level up. We know this. You've watched the movie Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman, right? Bodeo Drive. You go in to Bodeo Drive and you're not matching the energy of Bodeo Drive. There is an assumption that your energy aligns to the frequency of your money. Rich people, wealthy people vibrate at a higher level than people that don't have money. So if somebody brings in low energy into a luxury hotel, people at the front will already assess your energy because wealthy clients vibrate, always vibrates. I work with extremely wealthy, independently wealthy, successful leaders in business and government. I'm telling you now, the rooms when we are talking, the vibration in the room is high energy because the more money you have, listen, in this world, you will vibrate differently than people that don't have any money at all. I just gave you guys another stuff. Go ahead,
That's
Jason.
very good, and thank you. And I think you're helping me understand the problem because I campaigned for our 21st Prime Minister. Je parle français, j'ai étudié à l'Université de Québec, to me. And I've gotten abused in some of these clubhouse rooms. That never happened in, well, actually, now it happens in the politics in the States. Sorry, it's dangerous now, actually, compared to how it used to be. Like, that was 20 years ago, right? That was when I was working at Microsoft around 2000. And you notice that these things happen, say, for instance, on Clubhouse, there's a lot of like abusive rooms where
Mhm.
at least
There's
that
low
never
vibe.
used to
There's
happen.
lots of low vibe.
That never used to happen. Even especially now, you see it even at school board meetings. You see it on the news now in politics. 20 years ago, that was very rare, even in the United States. Now,
Hmm.
there's a lot of danger, a lot of places, like for instance, at schools now, they have to have drills. So, like, in terms of energy, you could say the energy got thrown off by a lot of things, and
Hmm.
even in the pandemic, you can see a lot of people were flipping out. They didn't know how to handle not being able to go out to the club. And I'll say for this problem, I'll pose to you because you're at the level. I've gotten done 20 interviews where I'm interviewing authors and professors, and it's gotten to the point where there's not that many people left that I could find on Clubhouse in my target market. You are, but there's not that many people because if I put together a book course, for instance, right? 25 years of my life. Like, how many people have done that? And you've talked in rooms and you talked about planning 5 years. I'm doing a 10-year challenge, started in 2010. So a lot of people, like, I've met people that are retired, but then they also have to be an author and a professor. And, you know, so I think in terms of energy, putting this, there's not that many people at a high enough energy, long term enough energy to be ready to take a 10-year challenge because they're worried about things that more are at a lower, it's not necessarily lower because at times I'm like planning the next 5 minutes, but there's also, if you want to say to somebody, what's your plan 10 years from now? That's a higher energy level to be able
Hmm.
to. You can't do that when you're about to die from
Right.
poverty, right? This is Jason. I'm done
Hmm.
speaking.
Okay. I know we're just go. This is a principle that governs life, energy, and more in sales. You need to understand it, but in regular life, right? So, for example, high vibe, low vibe. In order for you in the world to move into high vibration, you have to go through a process in life. What you're talking about is that many people are skipping process right now in the microwave generation. Okay, they can find themselves and skim their way into high vibe rooms, and to your point, they will totally, thoroughly disrupt those high vibes room with their low vibration. All it takes is one person with low vibe to mess up an entire room, and technically they will be kicked out. Look at Will Smith as an example. is that there are certain rooms that are structured for only high vibes welcomed here. No matter who you are, if you miss the memo and you bring in any low vibration energy, you will be thoroughly kicked out. It's unacceptable, right? So, no matter what is going on with you, check the room you're in, check yourself. Check yourself. No matter who you are, Will Smith or no matter how much we love you, when a room or a space or an arena is designed for a certain type of energy and you bring in another energy and you are disruptive, you will be excluded. So energy excludes or includes people. We align ourselves with people that vibrate at our own frequency, right? We do life, right? You do relationship, you do marriage, you do business, you work with people that are at your frequency. So if, let's say, as example, I have worked, right, for the biggest company in the world, the headquarters of the largest company in the world, trust me, the vibration is out of this world. The sense of possibility, literally, this is the now I think it's 600 billion annual sales. The energy that powers a 500, $600 billion company at the headquarters, listen, it's I vibe all the way. I vibe. I vibe. We're talking about billions and projects and I vibe. And that's part of what you would experience when I do the things I do. Okay? When I host events, when I bring in ambassadors, when I bring in US government, you see my TV show, we have like XBA, SBA directors, Exim Bank, Department of Commerce. You see them on my show, you see them at my event, and that's why it's high vibration at the like all through. The reason, in fact, the reason I started teaching was that if you don't match that room and you come into that room, if your knowledge doesn't match, your skills doesn't match, and also in the world of international trade development, high vibe. The reason I started teaching, the reason I created access to my programs is that many people will see what I'm doing and they long to do the same. But to your point, Jason, if you come in with lack of skill, lack of knowledge, low vibe energy, you cannot participate in the highest level of conversations in the world. When I'm bringing in World Bank chief economists, right? All of those things, people have to elevate. The rooms you want to belong in, you have to bring yourself to that level for you to be welcomed. Whether it's business function, whether it's yacht club, whether it's golf club, anytime there is community, any that time there is human to human relationship building, the only people we want to do life with are people who think like us, do life with like us. Those are the people we can be in relationship with long term. So the reason I'm saying this is that you realize that the initial interaction with people is we are assessing. We're seeking to understand if this is someone for me, if this is somebody I want to do business with, if this is somebody, right? This is where due diligence comes in. Because if you don't do due diligence and you start doing business with people who do not vibrate like you, right? You have a standard, but their standard is less than you. Mr. Boss said, they remember the conversation we had,
Oh my
right?
God. This is
Exactly.
deep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
this issue of energy is everything, like cut across every aspect of life, personal relationship, your business. Okay, let me quickly come in. What happened recently? Somebody came in to help me. I see why people hire people that are greater than them to bring in an energy, a force to their
Hmm.
business. You
Hmm.
understand? So this person just came in. She can't even speak English. She speaks French. But back home, I think she has masters in, what she do. But because she can't really speak English, I thought, oh, probably maybe I'll have to struggle with communication. She just can't speak my language, but she knows what she's doing. At the end of it, she let me know, oh my God, before I come in, you should have done this, 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 this thing. You can't believe the second day. I had to stand up and match with her energy. And she was like, "Oh, is it because I said this and this is not in place? Today you are matching up." I said, "Yes." You understand? So I see why people hire people that are knowledgeable than them, that smarter than them, so they can bring in that vibe. Then you can rise, you stand up to, that is, everything. Then talking about business and what you just mentioned, wow, the business I was in with some people that has that kind of energy, they were really draining me. I found myself going down because I keep on pouring into them, and nobody pouring back into me, and I started going down and down and down. Before you say, you know what, you need to set boundaries, and I did. Do you know they called me back last week Sunday, and things has really changed because they upped their game in the way they think, and we had to invite some other people to, like partners, to talk to them. So they are trying to be on the match, even though we are not still on the same level. But I can see a little bit of change based on that restriction, on that boundaries, because I get on there wasting my time. If we can't flow on the same level and all that. So clarity is key. The same thing happens when the first time I met you. I really can't even communicate. I know I have a pain, but I can't even communicate what I'm feeling. I can't even communicate, what I need. You understand? But at least to some extent, I have clarity now on, okay, this is what I want. This is how you can come in, or this is what, I've done so far. And, especially when it comes to my clients and understanding them and trying to, you understand, at least the clarity is coming in, and that is it. So yeah, I think I really need to understand. We really need to speak on the same language for energy to come. So I really get that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh,
I
I
hear it.
love this. I love this. So I'm going to go into deeper, right? One of the things I do is listen. People are still staying at 101. Oh, what's your customer profile? That is basic introductory stuff. For me, in my school, we go down. I'm going to take you to level 5 now. Okay. Mr. Bossede, here's one of the beautiful things. If you want to increase your energy in life, I'm sharing this will change everybody's life now. If you decide you want to increase your energy, you are going to increase your knowledge. Hmm. Look at knowledge as the tap that turns off or on energy flow. Low knowledge, zero flow of energy. Because you know what? As human, I'm going into advanced energetic stuff now, spirituality, energetics. Here's what usually happens. As a being, as a human being, everybody I'm speaking to right now is a human being, right? Okay. So listen to me, right? As a human being, you already have energy. So you're not looking for energy. You were created as a force of energy, but your energy is trapped by your knowledge level. I'm going really deep. Mr. Bernard, you wanted to say something before I go deeper?
I think that's true. I look.
Oh, sorry, you've
This
on
is
mute. Go on.
this is really true because I mean, you know, there are times that you think you've got it right,
Mm,
and you notice that no, there are people around you now. So when you are writing what Abisodo was saying about his celebrant and then the event planners, I got that. You see, I once entered I had one of a very elderly friend of mine, and he wanted to buy a Mercedes Benz for his 70th birthday. We entered the showroom, and immediately he was offered Moet. What wine would you want to drink? What wine? Because he was excited. Even the colors in the room really depict that this is a high energy room. Though the man was in shorts, he was just from a golf. He went to play golf and he just changed that. But they automatically knew that this was somebody who can afford
hmm. Oh, yes, 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 yes,
because
yes. Hmm.
there is no way your energy will not show.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So, like what Mr. Jason was saying, anytime you enter, I mean, there are times I've entered a room and within nobody has spoken. I just enter there 5 seconds and I just go out.
Mm-hmm.
There was a reason. You simply
Mm-hmm.
could not match the energy, so you just leave. But I
Mm-hmm.
always say I thank you for. I took one of your classes. I think not last year, last 2 years, no, or last year. That was last year, and for me, that was also one of the things I really pick up. I think you, with whatever you do, I mean, you are really making a very good impact. So I mean, thank you. I mean,
Mm.
I just wanted to add my word to Abosede. So it's just a really great thing that you are
I
doing for
appreciate
to
it.
tell the people.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And the reason I said everybody needs to answer this question. How do you make people feel? You have to have awareness. You cannot be surprised. You need, because you are in control with turning up your energy or turning it down. Okay? You are in control. Anybody that just, oh, they made me do this. You've not done your own mindset ascension work. That's why the first program in my academy is mindset. Mr. Abasede, you will go into, you will sharpen yourself. You will level up quickly, quickly, quickly before you start. Because even in my school, don't bring low vibration in. There are many things people do on social media. Listen, they can't, many people cannot even sit under my teaching because of this energy stuff. You know why? My impact will challenge anybody that is not ready to change, anybody that is not ready to improve cannot sit with me because everything I'm saying, the vibration that it will create within you is forcing you to be transformed. So, in a way, it can be disruptive to people who do not want to do any type of work, that do not want to change, that do not want to level up, right? So, for those who want to level up, they will see me as pure gold. Oh, Tony, we've been looking for you. For those who are not ready to do work, who are, let me use the word lazy, let's use that word LAZY. The definition is people who are not interested in working. Okay? Because many times people don't understand these things. Go and read the definition of lazy. Anybody you encounter that is not interested in putting any effort to advance their own life, to do the work that will help them get everything they want in life, you can use the word LAZY. So anybody that is in that frame of energy, lazy energy, the day they enter into my atmosphere, they will be agitated because I'm challenging you to work. Thinking is work. Clarity is work. Transformation is work. Impact is work. Business development is work. So I know the moment anybody comes in, the moment I start challenging you and your inner space is shifting, changing, right? Changing who you are, they will run away. Because change requires responsibility of results. Change. Like if you come in with lazy mindset and you hear Tony say you can be this, you can be more. It's very uncomfortable to people who do not want to do any work. I know it. I'm just encouraging you. Know this as well. Know the people you are attracting, know the people you are repelling. Your energy repels, your energy attracts. Get clear on the people you can sell with, sell to, engage with, do life with, be in relationship with, and also get clear the people that will never ever be able to sit with you because of who you are, your perspective, your standards, your value system, your belief system. This thing is real, guys. Not everybody can match you. Not everybody can even tolerate. Like, let me give an example. If you are a transparent person, right, in business, right? You like everything documented. And then somebody that is everywhere, nowhere, lawless, erratic, doesn't follow process. If you dare bring that person into your business will be crashed. I always say people that don't know how to create boundaries in real life cannot build business because business is all about boundaries. A contract is a boundary, an MOU is a boundary. when you are hiring people and you say this is the process, boundary. Your intake process is this is how we want people to come in and work with us. Boundary. Everything you're doing in a business, if you don't set a process in place, if you don't systemize or create processes, you cannot build and scale that business. So if you
Tony,
have
thank you. I think one of the first things you taught us when we entered the distance, this one I'm cutting you was that.
no, that's
So
okay.
I think about 6 months ago, a client contacted us. I mean, through rather, he wanted to import some product. You know, I do market entry for African continent, and then immediately I sent him a contract for him to fill out and indicate what he wants, and then my service charges accordingly. And he said, "Ah, he has not really said anything." I'm saying, "No, you gave me a call." And what I deduced was the first thing was that we cannot be talking in vacuum. Time is money. So
Mm,
these are our service charges. There's a contract. If you are really serious about it, you look at what service you are looking for. You
mm,
look at the charge. Then we can have a conversation. Other than that, you call me on Zoom, I talk to you 1 hour. I mean, you are just wasting my time.
mm,
So let's have it in a very nice perspective. I'll say, okay, no, he will look at it and revert. And up to now. So he would wanted to engage me about 3 Zoom meetings for me to divulge what I'm actually supposed to do for him.
mm,
And then only yesterday he sent me a mail that somebody recommended him to a guy, and the guy did a shoddy job. And I'm saying, no, I'm not interested in what somebody did for you. What I'm interested in, what I offered you. So if you want to come back to the table, you still have the document. Choose what you want, and we can have a conversation.
mm-hmm,
So it is very, very important that you set the boundaries in the document. That's what I
mm-hmm.
wanted to say.
Yes, boundaries. Boundaries. Business is all about boundaries, guys. And the reason my mindset program at Academy, it's a full add-on A to Z of entrepreneurship, business development, advanced sales training, energetics, right? There's also a new program I launched this year, Millionaire Mindset. The reason is because at the end of the day, vibration, energy. Anybody that is not willing to match the systems you've put in place for your business, use the word standard. Anybody that cannot rise to the standard, trust me, if you have to lower your standard to meet them, they will mess you up.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Am I too direct, Mr. Bossett?
Oh my God, you're always on point. Like always on point.
Mm,
Always on point. There was this time I need some help, right? So I was looking for Oop to help. So I was, trying to say, because I don't want to pay much, I was like, let me look for family members. Okay, let me look for high school students, blah, blah, blah. You just, you interview them, you get to know even the way they talk. They're not ready to take corrections. Yeah, they don't have they can't walk. Even with the way they talk, they're so lazy. Because of the money aspect, you don't want to go for professional. But you know what? You are already shooting yourself by, coming for people like that. There's some people that they are naturally hungry, and if you have to get them, you have to pay good price, because they're going to give you, 10x in your business. So you need to pay for that. So I'm just trying to, say that energy is everything.
mhm,
Energy is everything. The people who you make life with, it's everything. So I was trying
mm,
to cut costs, whereas I'm cutting myself. You
mm,
understand? These people are still babies. Why can't you go for elderly people? One, they need money. And when you tell
mm,
them, okay, I'm paying you this per hour, do your work, they are focused. Not people that will come to the work and they'll be on the phone. They'll be on the phone. You can talk to them, they are still babies, you understand? They take things personal, like, oh my God, this is why I'm not ready.
mm, mm.
But somebody who has family,
Who has family to feed
money,
is
I'm telling
vibrating
you, his
differently.
vibe, forget it. His vibe, he's more saying, you are too slow, bring more this, bring. I was like, okay,
Hunger.
okay.
That's one of the things in sales, by the way.
Yeah,
The hunger, how hungry you are is how you'll be fed in sales. If you're
yeah,
not hungry, sales is not for you.
yeah. You know
And
what? I try to be careful where I there's nothing like, oh, it's just a friend, she's just a friend. No, there is nothing like that. Everybody carries energy, like you just said. In my family we have this tradition. It's a nasty behavior anyway. When we are so little, if anybody comes in as a guest, one of my brother will just look at you and look at you, will not talk. You think he's the quiet one. Immediately that guest step out, you start acting like that person and we'll start laughing.
Mm,
So growing up, I get to know we have that. Just talking to you for days, I start speaking like you. That's me.
mm,
As a result, I watch people that I listen to, because
mm,
knowingly or unknowingly, you pick from them
mm-hmm.
and you start being
Oh,
them. Yeah. You
absolutely,
start being them.
100%,
Yeah. When I first
100%.
met you, in fact, I don't understand like 99.9% you're saying, but I know that if I just keep playing you every day,
Mm,
those my mindset or the fear will become familiar. That's what I
mm,
know. And another thing, I don't go for people that are so low, because I want people that can stretch me. I want to move it. It's like a dwarf. By the time you start moving with people that are higher, you may look like dwarf, but his mindset will be very tall. You
mm,
understand? So I try to move with people that, even if I know that I can be like them, listening to them, repeatedly, all those my mindsets will start fizzling out. You understand? Before you do, you start being like them. So that's
mm,
what I did when I started. I literally understand nothing that you're talking about. I remember when you
mm.
did the this first course that we are saying, oh, slow down, slow down, slow down. The first volume that was so, it was so impactful, and you packed it
Oh,
up.
is it the game plan? The game
Game
plan 12
plan, yes.
strategies for winning.
Thank you. I know you're like, slow down, slow down. This is too much. You take it one after the other. I played that
And then your workbook, your
over.
personal strategy workbook.
Yeah, I was sinking that into my brain, into my blood, and so I can deal
Mm,
with time. I was able to deal with my mindset. I was
mm,
engulfed with fear. I was
mm,
full of fear. I can't believe I can do one third of what I'm doing today. There was a time you said, okay, we should write out what we're gonna where we want to be in the next 6 months with our business. I wrote it in fear. I did not
mm,
believe it. I just write it because you said, okay, right. I just wrote it because you said you should do it. I did that. But to my surprise,
mm,
over 6 months, I did more than what I wrote without knowing. It's just association. So there's nothing like, oh, she's just my friend, it's just a partner. We have energy and we
mm,
rub it on each other. So I really thank you for this opportunity. Honestly, I'm grateful for the
mm.
clarity, for the transformation for the past 1 year. It is awesome. Honestly, thank you so much. I heed.
Oh, you made my day because transformation is what I sell. When all is said, to keep it simple, because when you become the person you need to become, you can do all that you want to do. Right? It's like when you, let's say you desire to be a medical doctor, but you've not gone through a process to learn what medical doctors need to learn to develop the skill, to develop the knowledge, all of that. What it means is that, and this is the sad part of watching people struggle everywhere. Like everywhere in you go into rooms, you will hear people struggling, struggling, struggling. And I keep on presenting my school. This is the solution to all those things you are going through. I will keep putting it out there, my body of work. But the painful, unfortunate side is that when people are vibrating low vibration, because when you are struggling, trust me, you are at low vibe. You are at serious low vibe and you can feel it. Low vibe doesn't feel good. This is where fear is. This is where torment is. This is where confusion, stress, those things are low vibration. If you want to move yourself out of low vibe in the world, struggling, you have to do many things, not one thing. First, you have to check your mind because your mind is the first thing that torments people. What's going on inside of you, the thoughts, the stories, whatever is in your mind, you first have to clean. You have to clean out. I always say it's like brushing your teeth. Why do we brush our teeth every day? Because if you don't brush your teeth, it stinks. Your breath stinks. And who wants to hang around stinky breath? Nobody. Keep that up 2, 3, 5 days. You don't brush your teeth. Honestly, nobody. Listen, you become relic from a distance. People be like, oh, oh. And what's happening is many people that are still vibrating low. You are in a way. Let me use the word stinking, meaning that you're not in the position to attract money. You can't attract money at low vibe. Let me give you a clear test. This is the world where I say things as they are, not people living in fantasy. How many times do people pass by a beggar and people give a beggar money? Low vibe. There's something in the energy. I don't know. I'm just trying to say, watch out, observe, learn these things in life. So if you're vibrating low, you are people it's like people don't want to buy low vibe energy, right? People don't want to hang around low vibe energy. Let me give Shegun time to just share before I go on that topic. Because when you are in low vibe, if you want to build a business, first you must remove yourself from low vibe. This is when the mindset ascension, because your mind is the first thing that is binding. The stories, what you believe, lack of confidence, imposter syndrome, procrastination, all of these things first. You go after the mind before you say you want to build a business. Because even if you build a business in low vibe, guess the people you attract, other low vibe people, right? If you build a business in low vibration energy, the only people that will come to you are people at that same vibration. Let me stop there. Shegun, welcome to the stage.
Good
Go ahead,
afternoon,
please. Good
everybody.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. How is family? How is everything now? Let me just say, I want to just say about what topic you have been saying for over and over. For building a business, first of all, you have to understand a customer first, because for you to understand your customer without no advertising or something like that, most of the customer always complaining. Most of the product, if you didn't understand them well, that okay, this is the market, I mean, what is it called? The product will be fall down day, every day. Because I have one of my parents that asked me that, Shegun, what is going on with your service? Because your service is not good like before. I said, I'm so sorry. I will look at it. That is the thing. But some of people will say that, okay, let me just leave it. I'll do it next time. But once the customer complain immediately, don't let it take like a 5 minutes before you think of what to do, because most of people will just leave it. Oh, that customer does not valuable to them. That is what keep most of the business today. And if you want to grow your business, you have to make your customer happy, advertise your product with people with happiness. Like some people, some workers, like a boss now, you just advertising your, you just giving people your product, your customer. Some of them, they will be abusing them that, okay, you didn't have money. Why you patronize us? Even though it is small something, you have to make your customer happy. That is the thing, because if you didn't make them happy, even though the man was, I mean, the person was buying 30 naira something, you have to make him happy. But some of now workers, some of the workers, what I explain for my I experience for my own, it is most of them they're always thinking that this person cannot buy a million naira something again. That is it. And I want to always keep a business for a lot, because if you didn't understand your customer, if you didn't understand it, some people, it is not that okay, the person that buy 30 naira cannot avoid 1 million or something. That's the thing. And most of the boss, as a boss, you have to look at it, what is going on in your business, and is it my for my customer or for my service or for my product? What is happen? That is the first thing you have to look and advertise your business. Give people happiness. So, okay, come to my side. Even though make them laugh. If you make your customer laugh, they will still giving a they will still, I mean, they will still refer a lot of people, because one customer that refer a lot of customers to business. It is not that okay, you have to be A customer have to be a plenty before they find one person come. You have to be a one customer. One customer can even go a lot of business, and one customer can for a business too. That is the
Mm,
thing. A customer, you have to respect them in anywhere, and what you sell, you have to respect it, because even though even though your customer come today that okay, this thing is not good, okay, you have to, let me just look it, I will change it for you. Give
mm,
them, because every business is part of the risk. You have to know your risk, and you have to know your where you fall for, because you know the person that will still complaining, you know the person that will still not complaining. That is how business go. But some
mm-hmm,
people will still okay, and no, the boss will still be doing like okay, na me should be oga, but the workers they will talk that if oga no sell,
mm,
be, our salary will complain. That is it. They will start to
mm,
insult the customer, and as you are insult the customer too will be telling other people that don't go for that product, so it's not good at all. Go for another person. That is how business go. You have to
mm-hmm.
you have to, what is it called, monitor your workers, the way they behave with customer. You have to know your service, where maybe if your service is good or not. That is the major things. That is what I can just say about this
Oh,
thing.
yes, absolutely. I appreciate that. In fact, let me also, the first line energy, sales is energy. With what you just shared, let me also help people understand. Sales is emotion. You are actually selling emotion first. How you make people
Yes.
feel. So if they're not happy, if your vibration is not high, is not pleasant, is not happiness, is not joy, is not elevating, right?
You cannot make, yes
You
now
can
you
tell.
cannot make your owner, you cannot make your customer happy, because if you are angry with customer, your customer will run for you. Surely will run for you, because they see the person was angry, because you have to be happy always, even though if it is 30 naira the person is buy. If you are selling almost like 1 million something, and the person came that I want to buy 30 naira something, you have to make him happy, because the person that buying 30 naira something may came tomorrow and buy, what is it called, 1 million something. That is the thing most of the boss will do. They respect their customer more than their, what is it called, more than their workers. And
Mm,
workers too, they didn't respect people business. They will just believe that okay, when salary end, I will, 1 month end, you pay them the salary. That is the
mm-hmm.
reason why it's good for you to monitor your workers, the way they behave with customer, because
Absolutely.
that,
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
because
Wow.
without them, it is zero. And
Yeah,
a boss too,
absolutely.
you have to, and a boss too, you have to happy with your workers, because if you didn't happy with your workers, workers too will not happy with your customer. That is the
Exactly.
best thing. Exactly. The two
Exactly.
of them.
Thank you
Exactly.
for that.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yes, because
Yes,
you've also
because
raised
you've also raised.
an interesting point. Let me mute so that the echo stops. Okay. Thank you for that because you've also raised a point there, and I want to call it out. The energy you create in your workplace will influence the energy of your workers. And the energy of your workers will affect how they relate with your customers, right? So if you're a business owner and you create a low vibe workplace, just know the workers themselves will just transfer that to everybody working in. If your working conditions is not pleasant, and if your workers are not happy, how can they make customers happy? This is why businesses train their workers, right? This is the exact reason. Workplace culture, workplace energy, workplace dynamics will affect the success of that business because your energy as the business owner would rub on your workers' energy would translate to your customers. And this is why you need a coach. Let me tell you why before I bring Miss Queen into the discussion. Or let me bring Miss Queen and then I'll take note, I'll share that because it's so important. Why entrepreneurs need a coach. I'll share it after Queen talks. Go ahead, Queen.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, or good day, everyone. So, just So thank you for this. Been listening in, and I would say I've learned too many things I probably would think I probably know about sales. So I've been doing sales for well over 10 years, and one thing I know is I always tell people sales. I didn't choose sales. It looks like sales chose me because I started my career off differently. But one thing I've learned a lot is for me to consistently enjoy it, because sales is something that can be enjoyed when you're obviously doing the right things, and you really cannot know everything all in one. Regardless of how long I've been there, every day I keep learning certain things, especially because my experience has been across different industries. But my question here would be, I know there are generics to sales. I know you have to know your product, have to know your customer, your target audience. But then I started recently understanding that it differs. Let me put it this way, not to sound derogatory, it looks like you have to learn how to sell per location. And by location, I mean, or per race. And that question is probably open to everyone, to Jason, to selling in Nigeria. I think Akinabi wrote a book recently, How to Sell to Nigerians. We're a special breed. I mean that in every sense of the word. You're trying to convince somebody, you have to come correct, for lack of a better word, come correct. Make sure that for whatever it is, you're not only selling value, you're obviously selling way much more. And those are the generics. But in terms of the specifics now, is that how is sales like outside Nigeria now? For those that
Mm,
have had the experience, because trust me, you cannot.
mm,
I have a friend that relocated from Nigeria and we used to sell together. When I asked him, he relocated to the US. He was like, Esther is different. I'm like, okay. He
mhm,
said the culture
mhm,
is completely different. And I'm like, okay.
mhm,
He couldn't really explain to me in detail, but he said he struggled for about 6 months. And that really took a lot out of him before he started making giant strides, and of course
mhm, mhm,
getting promoted. So the question now for Jason or anyone that has experience outside Nigeria,
mhm,
what's
mhm.
the what's the difference? Because if you don't mind, we'll tell you ours, and it's something that rubs off, because at the end of the day it's still a global space and we need to know how to earn these
Yeah,
things in different places.
right. So one thing I'll share with you, I'm joining from Chicago. If this is your first time, right? And I'll tell you this as a Nigerian American. As far back more than 15 years ago, I actually had a business where it was pretty much designed selling to Nigeria from here, right? Like not just many times there are different dynamics in sales, cross cultural. I deal with international trade development. I train those who sell across borders as well, cross culturally, right? I also train Americans that want to sell into Africa, Africans that want to sell into the US, and people who want to grow their business in the US, or people who want to grow their business in Africa. The first thing I would say about selling to Nigerians is aspirational sales. Nigerians are aspirational at all levels, at all income levels. All. The person who has money and the person who doesn't have money, the mindset is aspirational. We want to buy into the next level. This is why cell phone is in everybody's hands. So there's really nothing in Nigeria that says you cannot afford it. They will afford it. Because there's an interest, the more you can present a product or service as aspirational to Nigerians, they will go and find the money because it's a status. It's an entry into the next dimension they want. Nigerians are always on the move, always progressing, always grabbing the next opportunities. You cannot tell Nigerians this is not for you. They will show you, they will thoroughly show you that they can afford it.
Oh my God.
Go on, Abesede.
No, I'm just
You're
that's
laughing.
you just nailed it. Yes. You just
You
nailed
cannot,
it.
you cannot tear down. You cannot use product to intimidate a Nigerian.
Oh my God. The
The day
love
you tell them this
luxury.
shoe, sorry,
They love luxury. Those people.
it's not just luxury. It's that culturally the mindset is anything I want,
I can.
I will do anything incredibly possible, including there's a negative side that drives 419. That's the energy behind those things. People that cannot afford something, but they would literally do anything to own it. There's a dangerous side to it. But I'm sticking with the positive side right now. Nigerians will go to any length, good, bad, ugly, good, bad, ugly, to get what they want. Any price, any price. That's something to watch out for. Nigerians, you cannot intimidate them and tell
Hmm.
them that car, they cannot afford it. They will say, who are you? I will show
Hmm.
you. I will show you.
Hmm.
And they will go back, even if it's to borrow, even if they will do everything, everything, and they will get that car and then they will rub it in your eyes. I'm
Hmm.
telling you, badass. Nigerians are badass. You cannot close the door on them. You cannot tell a Nigerian they cannot enter. The moment you challenge a Nigerian and you say, oh, only people like this do things like, they'll say, hey, you think they deserve the best and I don't. They will start gaming and planning how to do exactly what you told them they cannot do.
Hmm.
I'm just giving you the mindset. It leads to bad things, it leads to good things. It leads to horribly bad things. And it can lead to incredible, amazing things. This is why Nigerians thrive all over the world.
Hmm.
If you move them, they will rise to the top of their game, whether in any field. Because the moment they can see that there is more ahead of them, Nigerians will not stop.
Hmm.
They won't stop. But here's the danger. The moment they cannot see what is ahead of them, they will stop. The moment Nigerians they are not exposed. Exposure is the key for Nigerians. The day you expose them that there is more opportunities, there is more growth, there is more money, that's it. Just show Nigerians the way. They will find it, they will claim it, they will claim everything that they think is possible. But the gap is that many times they cannot see because of arrogance. There's an innate arrogance that drives people, right? That propels people to keep this hunger alive. That that pride and arrogance also goes before a fall. You cannot call. I'm generalizing. I'm a Nigerian American, so this is. I just understand my people. Trust me. I was born in the north, in Kaduna. My husband is Igbo. My parents are Yoruba. So when I say Nigerians, I'm talking north, south, east, west. I've experienced it, right? My husband. If you look at my last name, my husband is Igbo. Okay. So here's the key is that the same arrogance can work for you to propel you more. But the pride also, if you do it without knowledge and understanding, is also why men fall. This is also the same thing that leads to the fall. Because when people rush in without knowledge, this is also what governs a lot of the conversation and narrative about, oh, I tried this business, it failed, right? Oh, I've tried this before, right? That energy that people are always on the move, vibrating, right? You can vibrate foolishly and make foolish decisions when you are hasty. So Mr. Abosede, you remember you said slow down. This is why I always tell people slow down, because thinking is slow. Those who do not think, they are erratic and they rush. And when you rush into the ditch, you fail. And then when they fall flat on the ground, then they are like, then they blame everybody else, but they will not blame themselves. They don't take personal accountability for the fact that they didn't learn, they didn't study, they made a ton of assumptions. They said, oh, just because this person can do it, I can do it too. They run in without information, without knowledge. It's like you're looking at people that are swimming. Swimming looks easy, but you did not ask them, where did you learn how to swim? So you jump into the ocean and you're drowning now. So a lot of these things, running into spaces without knowledge, right? Without capacity, without skill. This is why the failure rates in business in Nigeria is very high. I'm connecting so many things now. Okay. Failure rates in business, because everything is trial and error in the most part. People are not learning what it takes to build business. They're not developing the skill. They're not giving their time to learn. They're just like, the moment they see somebody selling shoes, 10 people start selling shoes on the same street. The moment they see somebody selling water, 100 people start selling, but they are not learning. So they fail fast, right? They figure it out, but they will figure it out after wasting a lot of money, time, because the culture behind learning is not there. I said a lot. Now to answer the other part of Jason, you're raising your hand. Okay, you want to say something? Go ahead, Jason.
After you answer the other part of the question, then I have a question related to that. I can't
Okay.
generalize against about Nigerians. I have a rule
No, no, I
that,
can.
but you can.
I'm generalizing,
You're Nigerian. Jason, I don't speak.
and they know, Nigerians know. If anything I've said here, I'm speaking to. I can look at the names here. If anything I've said, it doesn't resonate. You see, thumbs up.
E-
Right?
even as a Ghanaian, I know.
You know. Okay, good. You see, so they will call me out quickly. Right? If there's anything I'm saying here that's not on point, they will call me out. so so that's also something about Nigeria. They'll call you out quickly, quickly. They'll say, "Come here, sit down." Right? Like, no, 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 no. They'll put you in your place so fast. Like, if no matter who you are, guys, even if you're the president, they'll say, "Come, sit down." What you are saying, we don't accept. So I know my people.
Oh my
This
God.
is totally funny. So the second part around sales in other parts of the world, what I would say, I'll call it elevated selling. I'm just coming up with words to help people understand. It is very, very, very difficult to sell to people who are already consciously ascended. Those who are already not, okay, remember how I said in Nigeria is aspirational? Selling to people who have already arrived and are extremely successful, the language, you cannot intimidate them into buying anything from you, right? So in America, you cannot use the tactics that will get a Nigerian to sell. You cannot try it with an American. They will thoroughly just, they will look, they'll be like, what's wrong? Like, you cannot tell them who they are. They already know who they are, right? You cannot intimidate them with sales. You actually pleasure them into sales, right? Because they are living in prosperity. They are not trying to be prosperous as a nation, okay, as a people. They have serious, serious identity, like they are sick. Now, when you say America, there are also different sides. So now I'm generalizing also in America, right? Because different race, different ethnicity, different immigrant status, first generation, second generation will behave differently than what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, in America, you will serve them with sales, like literally at your service. You, the salesperson, you are the subject of the buyer, not the other way around. You will pleasure them, you will serve them, you will literally, you have to serve them, you have to pleasure, you have to elevate your sales through service, 100%. Because the buyer here, the buyer persona is always superior. This is why I always say for you to sell, you have to match the energy or have a higher energy. Okay, you have to match the energy, and the energy of buyers here starts at a very high level anyway. So anything you're bringing to them must match that energy or go above and beyond. So let me give you an example of where this plays out. Cross-cultural international trade. When I'm teaching international trade, right? So let's say products that want to come into the US market. You can brand your product all you want and sell it in places like Nigeria all you want. What Nigerians will accept, Americans will not accept it. Right? So you might be selling your, give example, Dudu also with funky packaging and it's acceptable. The day it crosses border into US, the standard is different. The level of expectation, like they will look at packaging and they'll go, I mean, like this doesn't even make sense that people can package things like this shabbily, this loosely, like they will walk away. Your presentation, your branding, your marketing must be, there's a minimum standard that you have to start with. So the entry point for market entry for any product or any service, the bar is set at a higher level than other parts of the world. So any company anywhere in the world that wants to sell into America, they must start with that standard. So standard is already higher than most parts of the world. So if you want to sell a car, You cannot come in with a rickety car and try to sell it to an American because they have access to the best of the best and they can afford it. You cannot come in with a lotion and say, oh, buy this. When they look at it, it's not well packaged. They will not even touch it. It's like food. If you present your food and it doesn't look pleasant, it doesn't look good, it stinks funky, they will walk away. So because of choice and options, tons of options, the customer, the consumer here is picky, selective. They want exclusivity, right? That's what they pay for. They don't pay for basic thing. They're not even interested. So anybody that wants to sell must match that frequency, the minimum standard. Because here's the key: even here in the US, even those who are living on the poverty line, even those that the government is funding, right? They're dependent on the government. Even their selection process, what they have access to, is superior to what most people in the other parts of the world have access to, right? Even talking about even those that are living at the poverty line in America, that they are dependent on government subsidies. When they go into a store and the things they are picking is still quality standard than what other people, parts of different parts of the world are, the richest people in the other parts of the world have access to. So that's something people don't understand. So when people try to export or import things into the US and they say it's rejected. They're like, why is it rejected? This is what we are eating here. This is what we are. People are buying it here. They're like, no, sorry. The standard here, minimum, must follow this thing. There's nobody we're going to feed this to in America. Nobody's buying this stuff. Nobody here in this country will stoop to this level to accept this thing you are accepting in your country. So I'll stop there. It gets more dynamic. Over to you, Jason. Go ahead with your
Yeah.
question or reaction.
So this is a hard question. Then, don't you find it? So you some of the things you said before as well. Um, you know that people try to skip process on the internet. It's so easy to skip process, right? Like
Mm,
at university, there's prerequisites. So I'm on my way to university now, right? To Ontario Tech University. Everybody there likes technology and they like knowledge. They've paid to get there. So like they listen, I don't get abused, like I'm not going to get thrown off a stage there, right? So don't you find it frustrating? How do you have the patience? Because I want to help all 8 billion people in the world. I have since grade 5, right? So don't you find it frustrating to even be on Clubhouse? Because if you're in a university, oh, everybody will be like, wow, this is great. This is and
oh,
there you could teach 1,000 people, and all of them will be listening. Students that you could teach a class. You're as good as my professor, actually better than my professors of economics that went to MIT.
mhm,
However, here somebody could come in a room, they're down there, and you have no idea. And then they could, if you
mm,
let them on stage, if you made them a moderator, they'll close your room, they'll throw you off the.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
So don't you find it frustrating? Because I want to help everybody. Like, but when I'm on Clubhouse,
mm,
sometimes I go in a room, I end up getting abused. I've seen you in rooms teaching, and the person's like, they don't agree with the thing, and I see them trying to think, and they're like, because they don't even believe in God. So when you say that, they're like, oh, and they're trying to figure out how to use that to like make $1 million overnight. And there's all these people that want to skip process online, and
mhm,
the young people, I'm in youth ministry, the young people, they all want to be an overnight success. And I'm like, you know what I
mhm,
call overnight success? Not a success. So the question is, right?
mm,
How do you, if I'm doing a
mhm,
decade long challenge, when everybody wants a thing in a minute, I find it hard to find people that have
mm,
the vision, that have, like you were talking in a room about 5 years. I'm like, mine's 10 years. Because, and I'll
mhm,
leave it with this. Do you believe if this Bill Gates quote, most of us overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we could do in 10 years?
mm, mm.
Jason, and I'm done asking.
Okay, this is I love, thank you for your question because this is real stuff that I teach, right? Real life. So, what I do, I have clarity on why I do what I do. That's the first thing. I have clarity on why I do what I do, which influences why I show up where I show up, right? And to use an analogy, all I do is to throw people a ladder. They have to decide if they want to climb it or not. I'm not on the ground with them. I'm not even though I'm present here, I know my species. I know my species, I know my vibration, and I know where I belong. When I host rooms and meeting and doing things with governments, ambassadors, I sit on boards of $1 billion company. And one of the things I try not to do is I don't come here to intimidate anybody with my own life, because there's another sales strategy that people apply wrongly. I don't believe in it. They have to pull you down. They have to create this artificial distance between you and them, right? Mentally, they have to almost say they are superior to you, and then they tear you down. It's a psychological play. It's an intimidation tactic. Some people use that tactics to sell. Because I said, for you to sell, you have to be higher or equal. There is another mindset that believes you have to be less and they have to be more. And then they have to prove to you that you, and when you leave that energy, you will feel this. I've had people come to me secretly and say, they make you like they make them feel not smart. I'm just trying to say, watch out for those things. So for me, what I do on Clubhouse is, it's an ascension opportunity. Here's the ladder. Here's the elevator. Do you want to go up? Here's my school. Here are my programs, right? Do you want to leverage these things to move yourself from where you are to your next dimension? So it's an opportunity, right? So you find me offer that's how I sell. Here is the school. You're struggling with business. You're doing this. You want to sell. You want to be you want to operate at the highest levels in business, right? You want to achieve success. Here am I. I used to serve as a strategist for the biggest company in the world. I've put together big business strategy that, listen, you can spend the next 10, 20 years, you will not find those things. Here is it. Overnight, you invest in it, you will move yourself from where you are, you would ascend. So it's a ladder, it's a rescue in a way. But guess what? Not everybody wants to do the work to even climb the ladder. Remember, I talked about lazy, right? Some people, you put food in front of them, they'll still say, here's my mouth, feed me. And I'm like, no, you feed yourself. You better feed yourself. You better invest in you. Here's the solution. You better brush your teeth. You better, right? So the first thing I would just say is, once you know who you are and why you do what you do, my books, my programs is all an ascension, next level type thinking. Because many people will say, I want to build a business. I want to do this. We have big dreams. Last year, I had the opportunity to run a program, design and run a program for United Nations Development Program. Entrepreneurs from 38 African countries went through my training. 50 the application though, because we had to filter down. I went through all of the application. The application came in from 50 countries. 50 countries. And I read through all the application, and listen, when I was reading it from all parts, in French, right? One thing stays with me. Everybody has dreams. Everybody, everywhere in the world have dreams, aspirations of who and what they want to be. Listen, everybody, every human, reading those applications, over 2,000, listen, reading their dreams, their business ideas, because they have to tell us, what's your business? Where are you exporting? Where are you going? What are you selling? Who are you selling to? And as I was reading it and reading it and reading, I'm like, whoa, brilliance. But here's the key: no capacity. You can't pull it off. You can dream all you want. You can wait. Listen, everybody can wake up every day with a dream of what their life could look like. Only the people who have the skills and capacity will be able to do it. Only those who develop, who educate themselves to function will be able to build their dreams. So I have that understanding, right? I have that understanding. So the frustration for me is the lack of urgency. Remember, in the room, I said sales is energy, frequency, and urgency. When you're trying to sell people on a product or a service or a solution, If those people have no sense of urgency, if they are procrastinators, perpetual procrastinators, if they don't believe in the future, this is where their own mindset, you will be coming every day, giving them, offering them the solution, they won't take it. You'll be saying, here's the ladder, this is the way out of your predicament. They will still believe that you are not the solution. And trust me, even as Christians, the same thing is true. This is why my book, there's a book in my school, Marketing for Christians. I share 14 principles, even Jesus, right? Even the ultimate salvation of human still falls into this thing I'm saying. Every single day, we still have to keep preaching. You have to keep preaching salvation. You don't stop. The message goes to the ends of the earth. So I'm not stopping just because people are not saying yes. That's why even Bible will tell you, when you hear this, harden not your heart. Today is the day of your salvation. Bible says this. And the day the message of salvation comes to you, don't say it tomorrow. Take opportunities today. Rescue yourself today. Say yes. So even for me in sales as a business, I practice the same thing. I will bring the offer. This is where, as an entrepreneur, every single day is an opportunity to tell your story, present your offer, and hope and pray and persuade people to say yes today, not yes tomorrow. Procrastinators say yes to tomorrow. But guess what happens? Tomorrow becomes today, and they say tomorrow again. And so they never change, they never advance, they never become their dreams because they are discounting this moment and they don't know the power of decisions today. The decision you make today will determine how you wake up tomorrow, who you are tomorrow. Right? The moment you start taking my class, you log in today, you start with mindset ascension. When you wake up tomorrow, not the same person will wake up. So I'm just saying that, Jason, the frustration only for me is that sense of urgency in people to change their life and transform their life. That stuff is dependent on their own clarity. Right? No matter who you are, no matter what you're selling, if people don't know what they want, if people cannot make up their mind, if they are not, if they are indecisive, they will come into the store, they will look around, they will walk out again. They'll say, "Ah, tomorrow I will be back." They come in again, they look at the handbag. I want this. Oh, not today, not today, not today, right? Not today, not today, not today. They say not today, not today, not today. And not today becomes never. Never. That's the main frustration. Is that there are many, many, many people in the day. And this is why at the end of the day, most people do not cross over. No, most people do not become who God wants them to be. This is a fact in the world. And this is the saddest thing. Many people, we all have potential. We are all born with incredible potential in the world. But the saddest thing is to watch people waste their potential by not making decisions that would, right? And just so people will realize the only reason you are the person you are today is because you've invested in yourself. You went to school, you studied, you became. I'm also just saying for you to become more, you have to repeat that process again in another dimension. Everything is levels, success is levels. So when people stay in the dimension they are right now, and they want to reach for next level opportunities, their hand is not long enough because you have to climb into the opportunity you are enjoying right now. You climbed into it. You trained yourself into it. You invested in yourself into it. So why are people now thinking they will not invest themselves into their next dimensions? That's the lack of awareness. That's the lack of awareness is that people are stretching their hand and they're saying, Tony, bring your academy into Clubhouse. And I'm saying, no, you will use your money, you will throw your money into it and you will invest, you will go to Harvard. Harvard doesn't come to you. The best things, it doesn't come that way. Even the promised land, you fight your way into it. You kill some giants and go like you slay some giants to be crowned. You demonstrate new capacity that is worthy of your next level. You will solve some puzzles in life. You will grow, you will graduate. And the moment you enter the next level, listen, you don't need to stretch anymore. You just enter into the door. New opportunities, like you don't have to be knocking, it opens for you. Yeah. So that clarity is what, right? You can Clubhouse, listen, it's not even about me. You know why? It's not about me. You know why? Because I have my own, all you have to do is follow me enough. And you'll see that in addition to building solutions for other people, for them to climb into their next dimension, I'm not sitting around waiting for you to decide because some people will not decide. I know that. And I'm not building my life around their decision or indecision. Right? That's so so as I'm coming to Clubhouse sharing, hey, academy, trust me. My TV show in partnership with the mayor of my city is the meetings I have today. I'm talking to Washington DC Exim Bank, where I'm bringing them. I've already lined up, right, government stakeholders to come into my TV show. I'm hosting weekly, right? We record every Tuesday. I'm literally in the same building with it's the TV show, right? I'm working with the same communications team that does stuff. So listen, so whether people rescue themselves or not, I've done my part. The school is there. And I will keep marketing it. It's my body of work. It's important to rescue many people. But I'm not building my life. I'm not waiting for people that are indecisive, right? People have imposter syndrome. God will do some work to create awareness. But trust me, I am moving. In fact, let me just transparently share this thing with people here. Before 2020, I could literally care less about what other people were doing with their life. You won't find me talking, engaging online. You hear the trade with Africa, like go and research, like World Bank, this. We are moving. 2020 is when God said, for those who are spiritual, I'm deeply moved, I'm influenced by my spiritual journey. It's like, oh, the people following you that are supposed to enter those next rooms, these rooms you are creating and these opportunities, right? Export, banking, finance, investor, they can't even pull these things you are telling them. You are opening doors that they don't have the skills for. The CEO of Walmart was, I was like, oh, buy more from Africa. CEO of Walmart was like, go and bring the people ready to even talk to us. I'm like, eh? They are not ready for international buyers. They are not even ready to sell it. Like, CEO, I'll be back. There are incredible doors of opportunities opened that my work opens across board. Governments, businesses. 2020 is when God said, go and now start coaching and guiding and training those that will participate. We are creating wealth. It's about wealth creation. And if you don't have the skills of wealth creation, listen, you read it on the newspaper, you will not participate. This is why I teach. Look at Mr. Bossede now. The things she's pulling off now, capacity, knowledge, she's operating at her next level simply because she went through a process of learning. We learn our way to success, guys. Bill Gates learns his way to success. There's nobody that wakes up and say, oh, I want to put a man on the moon, and you not learn how to put a man on the moon. It doesn't happen that way. In fact, the greater the things you want to do in life, the more superior knowledge you need to be chasing after. That's what I've done. When I had a vision of the things I wanted to do, guess who the people I was calling? Presidential advisors to advise me. World Bank chief, like World Bank chief economists on this Africa. Come, teach me. I am a student. I am a student of the most highly knowledgeable people in the world in the topic that I'm talking on. I am their student. I am a product of sitting at the feet of people who are shifting nations and continents. So when I speak as a student of ambassadors and right. The key is who wants to be my student now, right? And people don't ask me, Tony, what did you invest to become a student of these people? I don't even ask anybody to make that level of investment. It's not for everyone. The sacrifices, I don't even ask you, anybody to do that, but you will invest in your future. The future you invest in is the one you create. The one you don't invest in, you will not find it. You are living right now. This moment, look around you. It is a function of your level of investment. Look around you.
I invested my house twice in knowledge in
Mm,
2010 an increase in visa campaign, and again last year. And I wish I met you earlier, actually, because I spent thousands of dollars, and most of the people that I paid have not really been at your level because they might be on one level, but then most of the things and the reason I'm single is not at the political level. I need to find my Michelle Obama because the thing is, I campaign for prime minister. I'm planning to run next decade, and most of the people in business, a lot of times they just all they do is bribe politicians. So it's just like there's level of corruption, and I'm sure you understand this, right? The
Mm.
level of corruption for somebody that's a Christian, it's just because the people, a lot of people that make a lot of money, it's because they worship money. So the level of corruption, it's just amazing. So there's a lot of things that I'm saying I realize I avoid at a university, but I do
Mm.
understand if you have a calling to help people and be more accessible, then that's a reason to be on here, and I applaud that. So
Yeah.
keep up the good work. This is Jason. I'm
Oh, I appreciate that. Access. Okay, let me first address the only corruption that exists is the corrupted mind. That's the only corruption that exists. When a person's mind is corrupted and warped, and they don't know, they want something, but they don't know the positive way of getting everything they want, they will corrupt. They will go at it in a corrupted way because the same thing you want, right? It's like when God was talking to Cain and Abel. When Cain wanted Abel's outcomes, okay, his mind was starting to get corrupt. God was like, if you do the right thing, you too will be accepted. If you do what other people around the world are doing, you will make money.
Oh my God.
If
Please
you,
say that
if
again. Sorry for cutting it. The only corrupted mind is what?
the only corruption that exists is a corrupted mind.
Hmm.
Corruption is a function of people's mind, their thinking, how they think. They want something, they want money, right? What leads to corruption is you want money that doesn't belong to you, right? And so you are dipping hands and pockets into people are using corrupted means to get what they want, right? And I'm going back to Genesis. It's not new. Cain and Abel. Abel made sacrifices, and the genuineness and the purity of his heart made sure his sacrifices were accepted. Cain did the same thing. It wasn't accepted. And you can go and read it again. Between that and him killing his brother, right? There was a conversation God had with Cain. It was like sin is knocking at the door in your heart. He said, master it. God told Cain, master your emotions, master yourself, master your thinking, because you're about to take action that will kill your brother. So when you talk about corruption, corrupted mind, money that ought to be go to the benefit of their brothers, of the citizens, the corrupted mind dips into it, corrupts it, and people literally are dying in the hospitals. Hospital money that is supposed to go to hospitals that will save lives. Some people have corrupted it. They've taken it, right? s- Money that is supposed to go to roads, education, to better the living conditions of the citizens of a nation, money that is not theirs, right? Corrupted mind will stick hand into it, corrupts the whole thing, and the downward effect is that many people's life are impacted by those decisions made upstream, right? But my point is the reason it is corrupted is that they don't know that there is actually another route to create collective wealth, that you will have more than you even need if you do your work, if you do the right thing before God. If you lead the right way, everybody will be rich in abundance. They don't know that, right? They don't know that this same thing you want, the people doing 419, this same thing you are looking for, it is possible for you to build wealth through entrepreneurship, through value creation versus corrupted. You are corrupting your life, corrupting the life of, like, that's what I mean. The only thing that is corrupt is a corrupted mind, because a corrupted mind will corrupt everything they touch. Every contract that is this, their signature is corrupted, their words are corrupted, their energy is corrupted, they are corrosive, and in fact, that is what corrodes the society. The more corrupted people, corrupted mind that lives in a society that you don't check them, they will use their hands, their action to corrupt everybody else under them. Because they will that energy, you know how we're going back to energy. That energy will spread like wildfire. So you find children on the streets also being corrupted because that thinking has spread. The moment that thinking is acceptable by a community, listen, it spreads from newborn baby to old. They'll be behaving in that corrupted manner. And then the few ones that want to do the right thing, listen, you are the odd one out. You will be frustrated. You will be frustrated because when you look all around you, what is acceptable? Really. So it's now reverse. Negative now influences people, positive people to be negative because the only way you survive in negative society is you have to join them. And likewise, in other society that is positive, the only way you survive is positivity. So that's why many people want to escape. There are some battles you cannot win. You try going to Venezuela, or you go to you. There are some places because of the energy in those places, you can't live in peace. Let me just say it that way.
Yeah, I
The
had to
energy
leave my
vibrating.
island.
Sorry,
I
go
had
on.
to leave my island because I wanted to do business there. And it's a good thing. God called me to leave and come back to Canada because
Yeah,
the month after they killed somebody right right in front of my grandfather's shop, and I would have been that person because they robbed my grandfather's old shop, and my friend he went in to save the girl that was working at his shop, and they shot him 5 times. And I know I would have gone in to rescue girls right there where I was. So it's unfortunate.
yeah,
This is Jason. You can speak.
yeah. This is why Bible talks about when evil people rule, many people will cry. I know we're talking about energy, sales, frequency, but everything is connected. The reason
Yeah,
I
this is
teach these
energy.
skills, everything is
Mm.
connected. The reason I teach this skill is harm yourself with the skills that you will create the life you want. Because if you don't have the skills, you will depend and you will be, right? You'll be at the mercy of the world. You can't control your life. Sales is one of those skills that elevates you above conditions. The moment you can create and sell, that's it. What do you need a government? Like, it's an elevated skill. This is the skill of wealth creators. This is why I teach. That's what my school is. You want to escape the matrix, you have to learn. You don't want to escape. You live in the conditions you find yourself and the one created for you, right? So this is the passion that leads me to keep teaching, keep telling people my school, my courses, my course. Listen, I'm not stopping. It's my body of work. It's my legacy. My late father was part of establishing two Nigerian universities. My husband is a university professor. My dad wanted me to do PhD. I don't know if I will still do it. So so this is it. So I have a school and I'm creating a center of excellence, even here in my physical location, right? Center of excellence. And the idea is anybody that steps in, you step in with a business idea, you step out with a roadmap for success and wealth creation. Any people will come from all over the world to come and learn from me. I'm a world-class business educator, right? So yes, we are doing it clubhouse, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But my center of excellence, if you want to make money in the world, you will fly in, you will spend, you come to my retreat, I'll teach you, you will go back and go and make money. You go and sweep money, you build wealth, you build legacy business that you can pass on to your children. If this is what you want, right? That's it. That's it for me. That's it. It's a decision. But if you don't want it, that's okay. Keep living. That's okay. But those who come will hit the fruits of their labor and they will hit it quickly. So that's it. Whether it's my events,
Congrats.
whether it's
There are
my
very few
yes,
people. Oh,
Jason.
sorry. There are very few people in the world that get to the legacy level, and that's what I found. Because my book is also 25 years of my life. It's my legacy work. Got there at 45, and there's very few people that even get to that level. So congratulations, and it's generational because obviously you give credit to God and your dad. my dad also was a scholarship winner, and I was trying to go backwards to go back to where my dad came from. But my dad left it. He go to come to a big country, and I tried to go back and retire there. I have to leave because it's just the thing about a small island is that people that are very ambitious want to go to a bigger country. So me going back to a small island, I understand why my father left. But keep up the good work. This is very impressive. Your
Well,
courses and your university
for
is
me,
well
if
done.
I appreciate it, for me, it's a bridge. What I'm called to, whether I'm here or there, it doesn't even matter. Everything I create is accessible. I can do anything. I don't feel limited. I can do anything I want to do. I can be anywhere. Like I don't like I've freed myself from all these conditions. I can be anywhere, anywhere. I can. In fact, some people think I'm in. I remember somebody saying, "Oh, I would like to have a coffee with you. Where can we meet?" I said, "Where are you, Ghana?" I'm not in Ghana. I'm not. Many people don't even know where I am, and that's okay. I'm a global citizen, right? I've freed myself. I can carry my academy anywhere. I can carry it. I can carry my events anywhere. People in UK will say, "So, what you're doing in the US? Can you please?" I can license my trademarks to those in Canada. Canada will call. Oh, we are doing the same thing. We're trying to do the same thing with the government of Canada. Listen, that's the global nature of the work I do, right? My TV show will syndicate it, right? So at the end of the day, I teach what I do to those who want to do the same and get the same or similar results, right? Because one thing I will tell you, the highest levels in the world are not saturated. It is the lowest level that is saturated where there's competition. There's no competition because not many people are climbing these opportunities. So those who are still doing crab mentality, tearing them, the only place you tear yourself down is at the bottom. People at the top, there's so much room. There's no competition. There's listen, there is so much room the higher you go. But guess what? Many people don't want to do the work to climb higher. So wherever you are now, look around you. Everybody's fighting you. But at the top, we are helping one another succeed. That's the way that's how you stay at the top. You help people succeed. You partner. You support. That is, you collaborate. That's the only way. That's the secret. That's the vibration. The vibration of the most successful people in the world is one of collaboration because you cannot get to that top doing all those nasty things. Hey, me, myself, and I. How far can me, myself, and I take you in life? I call it the bicycle life. Carry your bicycle. If you fall in a ditch, pick yourself back, show up to the hospital. But if you are flying a plane, do you know how many staff it takes for a plane to take off? Do you know how many people a pilot depends on for that plane to take off? Do you know the pilots cannot say, "Oh, because I'm a pilot, I don't need anybody." Who is going to clear the runway? Who is going to give you the sign that you should turn right, turn left? You know that a pilot cannot even see the wings of the plane. Do you know a pilot cannot see where the wings of his plane starts and end? When your influence goes, you don't know where it stops and ends anymore. You have to rely on advisors and coaches. Okay, now I remember. I wanted to say why entrepreneurs need a coach, right? The day you show up into the highest dimension, listen, there's no way you do that. You can't go far on this journey without dependency, without partnerships, without collaboration, without investment, without value creation, value distribution, value exchange, without contributing to the success of other people's life. If you are still at the level of me, oh, who cares about you? No. Who really cares about what's going on in your life? Nobody. The only time we care is if you care for us. If Elon Musk or any of these people, now if anything happens, the news we will care, the world will care because now all the things, right? So there are many people that their impact in the world is felt and vibrating at a very high frequency. And when you vibrate at a high frequency, it's easier for you to sell. It's easier for Elon Musk to raise $42 billion to buy Twitter than anybody in the space because its vibration is different. It's easier for him to sell an idea. I want to buy Twitter. Who is going to invest in me so that we can go buy Twitter and you become a shareholder? People who showed up with $42 billion. Where did that money come from? The hands of people. I'll start wrapping up now. Everything is about people. The people you can attract, right? You want to attract people with high vibration because those who have high vibration have their money is also vibrating in their pockets. Their influence is vibrating, their access power. These are the things that vibrate at high levels. Wealth, influence, power. Wealth, influence, powerful people, even if they don't have money, they will vibrate differently because they are sitting on their decisions, shifts, right? Communities, right? Powerful. Those who have titles. You see them move. When they come into a room, we know, this is the vice president of this is the CEO of that, this is the managing director of this is the director general of that, this is the mayor, this is the councilman, this is the right people with title, with power, they vibrate. Ambassadors, commissioners. When you come into their space, their energy, the way they talk, they don't even have to shout. They just, oh, Tony, thank you so much for having me. Oh, it's such a pleasure for us to be here. Oh, listen, power is talking. We listen. When power talks, we listen. Their vibration is, trust me, I engage a lot. Like these are people whose decision they impact a billion, right? Commissioner for Economic Development, right? When I email, when we go by, when I host him, the vibration, the back and forth, you can tell this person is powerful. They are not moved. They are cool, calm, and collected. Their signature moves for them. All they have to do is sign. All they have to do is approve. All they have to do is say yes. In sales as well, if you're doing in B2B sales, the procurement officer has power to sign your invoice or your PO. Their approval vibrates. Their signature releases money. Anybody that sits in places that releases money, access, influence, they're powerful. So in sales, you want the procurement officer to approve and you don't want to vibrate at it. They'll just look at you and go, are you sure? They will just say, are you sure that this is the company we ought to be doing business with? Are you sure? They go to your website, they'll be like, this website is funky. Watch out for that, right? Watch out for that. Power, influence, wealth. The vibration of those three things, people who have power, who have influence and wealth, right? They vibrate different. So for example, if somebody has 1 million, 2 million followers, right? Their influence is that they have 2 million followers. Their vibration, it's matching. It's like their vibration is high. It's high, right? So at the end of the day, it's about who can you attract. And the people you are attracting, remember that your own vibration attracts them equal or greater, right? And then if you actually want to achieve success in sales, please make sure you've done the work on yourself so that you are attracting people that match the energy you want. Because the energy they vibrate in a way is a reflection of the money they have, the influence they have, the power they have. Because those who do not have confidence, who do not have money, who do not have influence, who do not have wealth, this is what happens. Jason, you're still in the room. They vibrate differently. This is why when you go into rooms, those rooms you're going into, when you sense that vibration, you know that there's no money here, there's no influence here, there's no power here. Okay?
And those rooms, they sleep over in those rooms 24 hours
So
because they're
what are
not
you
doing
doing
anything
there? The
except
question
fighting.
is, Jason, if what you are looking for is people with money, people with power, people with influence at a certain level, depending on what you're selling, you will need to invest in the rooms where those people congregate. That's the solution in sales. You have no business going, if you are selling luxury, Why are you marketing to people who do not value luxury? People who do not value themselves will not invest in high value because we want what reflects the things we value. We buy the houses, the cars, the shoe. It's a projection. We are projecting who we are. So somebody that doesn't value education will not buy education. Anybody that doesn't value their mind. So one of the tests I say, if I put before you now maybe shoes for men, let me say shoes, men, $2,000, women, handbag, $2,000, Towing Umesiri Academy, $2,000. The choice people make shows me where their value is. Because every day in the world, solutions are being offered, classes, courses, events, transformation opportunity. The key is that people are not choosing wisely, right? Is that every single day, people like myself, we are hosting events. But trust me, that event is priced. It's not Clubhouse, it's not social media where there's no anybody anywhere can just click in and stumble in. There's no entry, price to entry. So you get anything. You get all kinds of vibration on social media. The way we filter out the noise is that we create high value, high impact, high dimension spaces that is priced accordingly. That only people who value these things we're talking about in these rooms and are ready to invest in themselves to be in that room will be in that room. Nobody stumbles into the rooms I curate. You don't get, no. I can come on Clubhouse and meet everybody here on Clubhouse. But when it's time for summits, high profile, listen, you will pay. This is our filter criteria. The only we put in a filter because we want to filter out people who do not value what we are doing in those rooms. When I'm hosting my summit, listen, you will get your hotel, you will get international plane tickets, you will get your food, you will even register for the event. But when you come into the event, you get everything you paid for. You will get access that you cannot, even if you pay 10 times, you will not find. These people will not open the door for you. You can knock, you can apply, you can't see them anywhere because they are gated. So, how we filter vibration, energy, this is how the world filters out. Clubhouse is not filtered. Social media is not filtered. It's not filtered. There's no filter. There's no filter. There's zero filter. But high vibe people filter away low vibration with access, right? So we only want people who believe in what we're doing enough to invest in it. That's the criteria. If you don't want to invest, go to the regular rooms, go to the regular places. If you don't want to learn in Harvard, go and learn in regular schools. Make that choice, right? So filter, high vibe, low vibe is always filtered through access. Your level of investment is the key, right? So if someone is hosting an event and they're hosting buyers, international buyers, and you want to sell, you think you can stroll in? No, no, no. Because to host such an high impact, high transformational spaces, it's also heavy investment. So this is where you match energy. To create your shoe handbag, right? Entrepreneurs invest their time, energy, and resources to create value. Buyers must invest their money to buy value. So when you are in the world today and people are saying this, it's because, no, they don't value. Those who know value, value, and will pay for value. Entrepreneurs pay to create values. Buyers pay to acquire the value. You will say thank you when you buy banana, right? From a grocery store because they invested in shipping that banana to you. When you go to a gas station, you want what their energy produce. You want gas. You want to use their gas to power your car and you don't want to pay for it. No. You want their banana, you want to eat their banana to settle your own hunger and you don't want to pay the person who brought the banana to you. Sorry. Low vibe wants something for nothing. Low vibe people want everything and they don't want to pay for it. Run away. Run away from those dimensions. Run away from those people that believe they can get everything in life and not invest in it. It's a mindset. It's a low vibration mindset because successful people, they pay everything, everything, all that they have. They invest their entire being to get everything they want. And so you see them vibrating, right? High vibe. So when you are engaging in sales, and I know Bernard will know this, those who have hunger and desire, you can feel the draw. They are extract. You can just feel this extract. I want it. I want it. Right? The energy of desire is a pull. It's a pull. Sales is a pull and push. It's a or pull and pull. It's like a tug. Right? Right? I've used my money to create this value, and I'm not giving it to you free. Oh, I want your value, but I don't want to pay for it. Okay, who is going to win? That's the energy, right? It's like a fisherman. Let me give you another picture. When I teach, I give stories so that you can capture. Look at this image, right? The fisherman bought, used his money, time, and energy to buy maybe fishing nets or bought baits, right? Bought everything, and they brought it to the stream, and they bait their hook. They throw it into the ocean or the stream. The fish wants your bait and wants to run away. And you're like, no, I didn't come here to give you my bait for free. No, 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 no. So who's going to win? The fisherman has to have higher energy than the fish to pull in the fish. The day you catch a fish bigger than you, the fish will pull you. The fish will walk. So that's why I say your energy must be higher in sales, equal or higher to reel it in. Because there are many people who have their energy to take your bait and run is stronger than your own energy to reel it in. I'll stop there. Bernard, let's. I know Bernard does a lot of stuff in cross-border transaction. Your thoughts? Or maybe it's on the phone or okay. Any other person as I'm wrapping up?
Thank you so much. I just really want to appreciate you, and I'm looking at your university for sure because I was looking at just master's programs, but the advantage of your program above the regular ones because I am on my way to Ontario University, but I'm also applying for work there. The advantage of your program is you're free to live anywhere, and I love to travel. I'm also doing free trips and traveling, so the advantage of your program above like a standard university, though they don't know anything about location freedom now because the programs anyway that are just in person, and so they're kind of stuck there. But like you said, you can be anywhere and go anywhere. Like I could still go back to my own island, or I could go to Africa. I want to travel, but if I commit to like a regular university that's in class. I can't travel, so it's a really really interesting program. And I do know I don't sleep over in those 24-hour rooms. At first on Clubhouse, I spent a lot of time, but the only reason I came on Clubhouse is because I found you on LinkedIn. So this is Jason. Keep up the good work. I'm speaking.
Yeah, and one of the beautiful things with my school is you can finish the 10-week accelerator and opt out. So you can if the moment you feel saturated, the moment you feel you can do what you need to do, because there's a 10-week accelerator you start with, that's kind of like the heavy, intense, focused program. You can finish that and opt out, or you can continue with all the other resources. So that option, that flexibility is there. But I think above all, what sets me apart is practical, because many of the universities, the teachers teaching you, they've not lived the life they're trying to teach you on. They're not on the streets. They can't tell you what's happening on social media. They can't tell you about social media marketing. They can't tell you about sales. They can't tell you anything in the real world. They will prepare you for theory, right? And I'm saying skip the process of theory. Go into practical things. And when you walk away, for example, this room now, when you walk away, listen, something would have shifted in you that you can that will shift how you respond in the next hour. Who you are changes when you engage with practical information. But theory, you still have to translate theory into practical, right? So somebody that wants to teach you how to, if you want to learn how to fish, you can read 10 books on fishing, but you now have to take that book and go to the stream and then learn the lessons. I kind of skip that process of just theory and I go into practical, right? When I'm teaching. So everything is very hands on. And because it's hands on, it's transformational. Because anything that doesn't, you don't feel, you don't touch, doesn't make you think, you're not going to change. It doesn't have any impact on you. And this is why pure form content does not lead to success for many people in the world. You can consume YouTube, Instagram for a year, but if you don't handle it, this is why I use workbooks. Workbooks a lot forces. There's a workbook, entrepreneurs workbook for business development, market research. 30 questions. You will sweat, meaning that to answer those questions, you would have to think, research. You have to handle it, and in handling it, you will rewire your brain. You actually rewire yourself. Your thinking will change, right? To answer, we talk about equations, X plus Y. Questions are the equations of life. To find the answer to particular questions, your brain will change. It's like you have to create a neural pathway to solve specific problems in life. And once you shift your brain, your mind, it's like the caterpillar becoming a butterfly, you can now fly. But until we change our thinking pattern, we can't solve. It's tough to solve. And entrepreneurship is about solving equations, 100%. Every single day you're solving. You're solving. You're answering questions. You're asking the right questions. You're answering the right of yourself and of others, right? Of yourself. Who am I? Why do I do? Just like your example in terms of, clubhouse. Am I frustrated? Once you know who you are, you know what's going on around you. You can perceive it in an ideal way, because many people process the world also in a corrupted way. When people say, oh, it's about me, they're not paying me, how come they're not buying? That's a corrupted way of seeing. Nobody owes you a dime, right? Nobody has to buy anything from you. The equation is, do you have something that they feel that they perceive is valuable? And the question is, do they want it? In my book, I cover this. But when an entrepreneur is like, they are too this, you are judging and naming, you are name calling your prospect. Guess what? You just reduce your vibration just went down into the pit, right? Your energy, the moment you are engaged in corrupted like thoughts, that is me, they, oh no, right? You are bringing negativity into your business and your thinking, and that stuff does not sell anything. But the moment, this is where market intelligence comes in. This is why I deal a lot with research, research. Because the moment you know the people you are dealing with, the moment you understand how they think, who they are, what drives them, even the emotional chaos they are in, you can now work with them with understanding, genuine empathy, right? Genuine empathy makes us come over and over because we know the solution we carry will change their life. Why does a doctor keep serving? Why does a dentist keep sharing? Because truly, their work makes us better, right? We need doctors, guys. We need to the right mindset. A doctor will not go, oh, they are not coming. Oh, no. The doctor knows that his job is important. I know my academy is important. It's a rescue. I know that. They don't know that, right? Those who do not need you do not know the importance of your work. But let empathy move you to market, to share, to persuade. Because the day you enroll, the very first class you take, your life has changed. I know that. I know. Mr. Bossede knows. Mr. Bernard has tasted some of my classes. So I can't move through freely into the world if what I'm saying, people like Mr. Bossede, they will call me out quickly. You see, this is also part of sales. and energy. Those who have experienced your energy in the past, the day you start saying, "Oh, I'm this," you they will call you out and say, "No, it's not so." So right now we are in space. You are literally right. You are in space with Mr. Bossede, Mr. Bernard. He's attended one of my events before. I think was it 2020 or something, 2021. So anything I say is verifiable by this the both of them.
No, I think it's 2021. And
Exactly,
I
right?
mean, apart from the learning, the connect, the kind of people you meet
It
also
gave
on the
you
platform.
business, right? Burnout. You close
Yeah.
some deals, right?
Yeah, I closed a deal, though I went to learn.
You went to learn, but you closed the deal, right? Is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
Yes. I mean, I met a South African who was ready to set up in Ghana. And then we are even still in the process of getting some things really done. Uh-huh.
That's
I
it.
mean,
That's
the
it.
bigger picture is come, but I closed a deal. Yeah.
That's it. So for me, many people want connection before education. I flipped it. Before I used to make connection. And I realized that no, my reputation, because of my reputation, I'm not connecting people anymore until they've gone through my programs. Because my confidence now to recommend Burnout or Mr. Bossede is higher because they now think how I think. They know how I think because they've gone through my program. But many people will ask for connection. Mutwe, can you connect us? Oh, ambassador. I'm like, no, I don't know you. I don't know how you think. I don't know your standards. I cannot listen, I cannot vouch for you. I cannot introduce you. But when people go through my program, they go through my events, I listen to them, they ascend, they know how I think and they know what the expectation of my dimensions are, then connection happens freely. Everybody in my space moves freely. Mr. Bossede with, he'll connect with the shea butter manufacturer. I don't even check in terms of, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned when my students or those who have attended any of my programs, I openly, freely make those connections because they will not disappoint. Right? Because they already know, like Toy and our people, no nonsense, serious, right? Serious minded, focused, transactional, right? But when people off the streets of Clubhouse, listen, I don't know you. I cannot vouch for you. I don't know what you know. I don't know how you think. I don't know your standards. I cannot connect you because the high vibe, right? High profile. When they send, in fact, there was a day someone just randomly reached out to my private WhatsApp number and she typed, right? Dr. Halbert Zufak said I should talk to you. I was like, this is the World Bank, former World Bank chief economist on Africa, right? Whatever you asked him, he's saying, Tony is the only one that can help you. So high vibe knows high vibe. Dr. Halbert will never send people to low vibe dimensions. We don't send people, we don't send our people to go and check out low vibe people. There are opportunities at high vibe level for only high vibe people can participate in. And this is where most people miss these things, right? Is that we refer people, referral, we do connections, we do introductions, but we have conditions. I'm not about to meet somebody on Clubhouse and start introducing them. No, 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 no. I can't move you from low vibe place and then without filtering and then immediately say, oh, come to my this, come to my this. No, even my event, my weekly programming, TV programming, I'm filtering. I'm filtering those who would come into that room. We filter out, guys. That's why Eventbrite is a huge business. This is the filtering. You will pay your money to get a ticket to enter high vibe rooms. And if you don't want to pay anything, stay on social media. Or we will host certain free conversations, but realize those conversations, the energy too is matching those who we will not like. Free is free. But the day you step into an hotel that you are paying $500 per night, there are some hotels you pay $5,000 per night. The energy, they will treat you like a king. Like in London, there are many of those Like New York also has some of them. When I go downtown New York, United Nations, when I go, like when presidents meet and all of those things, listen, New York vibrates. Depending on where, if you like New York, different parts of New York vibrates differently. The heart, where United Nations, where all the presidents, when they're hosting their summits annually, trust me, when I go there, when I'm in the room, when I'm hosting or attending like presidential investment meetings, President Ramaphosa or President Buhari or all those things, when I go into their room, oh my goodness, the energy. What I you just have to experience what I'm saying for you to understand these things. You just have to go into these things. You have to show up into these spaces. By the way, you only go in there by invitation. You can't even pay money into that room. You go in there by recommendation. So that's another. There's another type of free. Let me tell you. Okay, I'll wrap up. There's no vibe free. There's I vibe free. I vibe free, right? Is that powerful people will give free access to other powerful people. They won't charge. There are some free. So free, not all free is the same. I've enjoyed a lot of free. There are some rooms where, so for example, I'm just remembering one president, about back then, President Buhari visiting New York, and they wanted the most influential Nigerian Americans to have a private meeting with him. Very, very, like it's a small room, small number. That room is free. But guess who had to approve and nominate? The consul generals, the ambassadors. They had to select us and then invite us and then send us a letter and then do security checks. Because that room is free, but it's not free because everybody has done a certain type of exceptional work to be entering that room. So free is free, right? Free is free at its own level. There's free low vibe and there's free high vibe. Okay. There's free low vibe and there's free high vibe. So if you are inviting Tony Lumelu, listen, free. I remember 2018, I was doing a summit and the ambassadors were to come to Bentonville. And one of the attaché officers, I won't, maybe I should mention Kenya ambassador. And we're talking and exchanging emails. And do you know what she told me? She typed and said, the ambassador and his team that comes and is attaché, they don't pay for any event. They don't. Oh my gosh! Because their presence their presence is an honor. Do you get that? That's high vibe. Their presence. In fact, people pay me to show up, right? No, it's now I don't need to pay to go to. I don't even go to any event I'm paying for. People invite me to speak and then they pay me. You see the reverse of these things. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. I hope you've had fun. This is my first attempt to do 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. type of engagement. We've gone for more than I thought we will, but I've enjoyed the conversation. Thank you, everyone that joined. On that note, I'm going to close out and set out for my day. So I'll see. I enjoyed. I think I already wake up early in the day. I think this is a great way to just engage with other early risers here in the US.
Thank you. Jason, I've sent you a WhatsApp. That's me networking. With Tony,
Yes,
he always has something to offer. Abisode, I mean, let's link up. There's always, this woman is different. I'm telling
but
you.
Bernard